What's up, y'all? It's me, Erykah. It's Monday. Happy Monday. Hope everybody had a great weekend. I hope y'all went and watched, Diva Came Down and we did the review of Real Housewives of Atlanta reunion last night. So if you haven't watched that, go and watch that. This is your Insecure review. And then we also have to review New York Housewives. Totally have been neglecting them. I've been watching, but I've just been forgetting to do the review because I really wanted to do them and Beverly Hills together, but they come on so far apart, and I feel like once it happens, I'd like to get it done. You know what I mean? So we're going to talk about Insecure. I hope everybody had a wonderful weekend. I had a really good weekend, and let me tell you something. That Jill Scott, Erykah Badu versus celebration was really like what I needed. I really needed that. I had such a really wonderful time. Like, I really was jamming. I had them all coming through the speakers. And it was just really healing. They were very complimentary to each other. They didn't tell too much history about the music. I guess Erykah was late, but I came right when they started, so I was on time. I wasn't waiting at any time. When I got on, Erykah was getting her echo together, but everything was cool. Jill Scott, she played a lot of songs people didn't know. That's why I was like, I think Jill Scott, for songs to resonate, Jill Scott songs to resonate, you have to have certain life experiences. With Erykah Badu, yeah, but I don't know. When Erykah was playing her music, I've always resonated with her more. I don't know. And she's like, depending on what school of thought you go by, she's either a Pisces or an Aquarius, whatever you want to go by. But her music vibrates differently for me than Jill Scott does. Jill Scott doesn't resonate with me. Like, her music doesn't resonate with me. I don't think I own I think I own Jill Scott's first record. I think I own every Erykah Badu, except for the last one, every Erykah Badu record, because that was just a time in my life when Baduism came out. That was just a time in my life. Like, I remember what I was going through. I remember who I was friends with. I remember the girl that I was friends with, her mom's boyfriend did not like, he could not, when I tell you that man could not stand me, that man could not stand me. And this was when Erykah Badu was first out. And her mom got married to this man, and he didn't really like, I don't think he really liked kids at all, but that was just around that time. I remember they moved into a new house. Her mom got married to this man. They moved into this new house, over there off of Crenshaw. And it was like, I just remember those times going to pick her. I had a car where we used to go out and stuff. And it was just like, I just remember those times. I just remember, and it just really is a soundtrack to part of my life that was like really fun for me. And I really was like having a good time. And when that CD was out, which I loved so much, and it just vibrates differently for me. When Erykah's stuff was coming through the speakers, I was like, yes, this is what I need. And then when they were done, they stayed on like almost 2 hours. They had like about 600,000 people in there, and the sound was great. It wasn't, Jill had a little delay in her voice, but it didn't affect the music. It was just a great vibe, and it really took like 2 black women to just come up here and be like, this is what we're doing. And I love that they started with You Got Me, and then like for You Got Me specifically, Jill Scott, that live version, baby. Oh, you feel it in your soul when I tell you, feel that in your soul, honey. And they played You Got Me at first. Jill wrote that, Erykah sang it on the Roots joint. And then one day, I guess Erykah couldn't perform. This is a story that I've always heard. She couldn't perform it. And so Jill was there, and so Jill ended up performing. She explained how nervous she was and how appreciative and thankful she was that someone like Erykah would sing her words, and it just meant so much to her. So they started off with that. I thought it was a wonderful way to start off, and then they just went through their songs and went through their hits. The only thing that Erykah did not play, which is my song, is certainly not me. Who gave you the right to rearrange me? Certainly not me. Yes, that used to be my song, baby. It still is my song. I listen to that song on a regular. That's my song, and she just didn't play it. And then, but you know, it was good overall. I thought it was great. Word on the street is that let me stop. I'm not gonna say nothing. I had a good weekend. Then after that, I went over to listen to D-Nice, and D-Nice was a vibe too. He was playing all like these old joints mixed with the new ones. It just was a vibe, and had it playing through the speakers. Just was relaxing, and it was just a really good. I just really was like, yes, this is exactly what I needed. Like, it was just like, it was perfect. It was perfect. Insecure came on last night after Nate and I did our video. I forgot that Insecure came on, and I didn't Married to Medicine also come on, so I need to go back and watch that today. And I gotta do New York Housewives. This is a mess. Anyway, so Lowkey Over It, I think that's what it was called. It starts off with Issa in the kitchen texting Nate, and I think we all realized that Issa was going to go around Molly and get to Andrew by talking to Nate, which lends to Molly's annoyance about Issa going to him, because you know you really don't fool with Nate like that. And so you really use him to get to Andrew. Do I mind that she did that? I probably would have done the same thing. You are not about to, if I am this close to this person and you are in 1 degree of this person and you're not helping me, and this is something that means a lot to me and something that I am going to, this is going to prove to myself that I can actually finish something and accomplish something, I'm going to get it done, and I'm going around you. You didn't want to be involved, so I left you out of it. I would have done the same thing. But it lends to Molly's issue with Issa that you use people. Issa doesn't have any boundaries. I've been saying that all season, and we heard Molly holler at her, trying to tell her, girl, I was trying to create boundaries. Yeah, but I think you wasn't doing it the right way, and that wasn't the right time, and it really wasn't a essential boundary to create at that time. So it was like on some hater shit. But here we go. So she tells, that's what we get to the I don't fool with Molly. She tells Nate, like, what's going on? And she was like, yeah, you know, I just really don't fool with her. It hasn't been cool, right? So whatever. So the day of the party, Andrew and Molly are in Molly's house, and you see they're like full on into their relationship, and he's like, you know, I just really don't like Issa right now. And he was like, okay, so do you not want to go? She's like, no, I need to go because that's my friend. And do we think Molly really wanted to go just to see if it was actually going to come to fruition, if Issa's work was actually going to be realized and actualized? Did Molly go for that, or did Molly go to support? We don't know, because she got mad later, and we saw what happened. So Andrew was like, do you want to go or not? And she was like, no, we gotta go. That's my friend. I gotta go support her. So they was at the block party, honey. This girl was on the damn stage doing the spoken word, and she said, baby, when she said SWV, sisters with voices, and I hollered, because she was like, she was grasping. I said that girl was grasping for her spoken word. It's just funny because people, we kind of poke fun at the cadence, right, and the inflections used when people are, giving spoken word. So it was kind of funny. Condola shows up, and she looks terrified. She's really good. She looked like, I don't know, should I be coming here? But she had some vendors, I guess, that she has relationships with, so she wanted to make sure that everything, you know, turned out okay. And Issa asked her, you know, did I do something wrong? And she's like, no, but you don't know? She was like, what? And she was like, Lawrence and I broke up. So that's what we thought. Maybe they broke up, right? A lot of us thought that they broke up, or what happened? Something happened. What was he trying to tell Issa that day? And I guess Issa, like, a light bulb goes off, like, oh, that's what he was trying to tell me, was that they broke up. And she was like, he didn't tell you? She was like, no. And she was Issa's face looked like she wanted to console Condola. Yeah, when I tell y'all tear her name up. Y'all call her Condoleezza Rice. Y'all call her condolences, canola oil, consequence. Y'all call it Condola. Y'all just tore that girl's name up. Why did they name her that? Do y'all know anybody named Condola? Tell the truth. Do y'all know somebody, or somebody who knows somebody named Condola? I've never heard that name before. I'm sure it means something beautiful, but everybody tears that lady's name up. Condoleezza, what else they call her? Coincidence, Constitution. I mean, everything. Anything with a C-O-N, honey, y'all got it. But she tells Issa, you know, you really did great. You really did a good job. You did your thing. And Issa was like, thank you. And she was like, okay, but I gotta go, you know, I'm busy, right? So Kelli is over there taking pictures, being silly, posing for pictures. And you see Tiffany and her husband are out, right? Without the baby. They got a new baby. Tiffany is high, drunk. I don't know what's going on with Tiffany, but she's not having a handle on motherhood as well as she has on how she comes off in terms of the perception that people have of her having it all together, right? She does not have it all together with this baby, and it's clear. She's, you know, she looks a mess. Her wig is still kind of looking a mess, but she's happy she's out. And it was funny because he kind of snapped at some guys or something who was copying the poses when they did their pretty jail serious pose. It was cute. They haven't been getting a lot of sleep. So Kelli all of a sudden starts talking with this English accent. Everybody's looking like, girl, what the hell? And even I was looking like, why is she talking? And then I immediately clicked. I said, somebody is walking up that she done told that she's from England, baby. What's his name? Amine. He is a rapper from Seattle, and he has that song Caroline. I don't know if you know that song Caroline, but it's one of my favorite songs. He's a rapper, and that's who she's talking to Kelli with her accent. And it was really funny. And Issa was talking about Lawrence and asked, you know, why didn't y'all tell me that Lawrence and Condola broke up? And they were like, we didn't know either. He don't tell me nothing. And this is what what's his name? Derek? Is that his name? Tiffany's husband? I always write Tiffany's husband. I don't ever know his name. But they were saying that they didn't know either. So Issa was told that the news reporter wanted to talk to her. So she was like, yeah. So this girl standing there talking to Issa, and then Issa starts talking about gentrification, because it's so funny because the majority of the people at this block party were white, which speaks to what is going on in Inglewood and how gentrified it is, and how there's white people walking down streets that Bloods used to walk down. You know what I'm saying? It's not funny, but in Insecure, you know, we're finding the humor in things that aren't so humorous to us as a community. That's what comedy is for. And she's interviewing this girl, and she was like, okay, where can I see a clip of this? She was like, on my YouTube channel. And she was like, okay. She was like, I haven't even created it yet. Girl, when I said, what is wrong? So Issa was like, is there any more other news? That shit was so funny to me. Issa, the little things in Insecure is really what makes those little things just like very awkward situations. A lot of awkward situations in Insecure. I really love the show, and I'm So glad it's 30 minutes, honey, because if it was an hour, it would just be too much, just too much. Well, Tiffany is drinking. She looked like she was double fisting, I think. And even Kelli was like, girl, are you okay? So we're trying to see what's going on. This is the 4th or 5th episode, so we only have like 3 episodes left. So I don't know what they're going to do in terms of kind of delving into what's going on with Tiffany, right? And her not being able to handle this motherhood thing as well as she thought she would. She wants to be out and dancing and footloose and fancy free, girl. No. So Molly walks up and then she was like, oh, you came? And she was like, girl, of course, I'm your best friend. It was so fake. I was like, you bitches, you hoes is fake. But I guess they trying or whatever. So Amal asked Kelli where was she from, and she was like, Poppycock. Poppycock on down near the Fanny. And what did she say? What did she say? What did she say? Did I write it down? Oh, over there near Benny Hill. He was like, girl. You know what? And I'm kind of disappointed. Not kind of. I am disappointed that the character who plays Amal is not, he's straight. He's not a gay man. And he had this article in Essence that was also equally disappointing, but I don't want to take it that direction. But if you haven't read it, go read it. He just made some comments about how he wanted to portray a gay man. And I just think they just really, I thought he was gay. I thought he was gay. Great actor. I thought he was gay, but his goal in what he wanted for us to see, I think his approach was a little off, but you can go read the article in Essence. Amina says, I don't know what his name was in the show, but Kelly's date, he says, yeah, she goes, so what's going on with your government, with the United States government? Let's figure out what it is. Like, he was like, so we have 2 branches of government. We have the presidential branch and we have the Bank of America. And there's a lot of them everywhere because they deal with a lot of money. It was so funny. She was like, oh, it's so incredible. That's incredible. She was like, it's like, it complicated, like your brain. What'd she say? Kelli is an associate producer on this show. She's also one of the writers on the show. She is really, really funny. And I really, really hope we get a character development from her. I really hope. Complicated, like your brain. It was hilarious. Andrew says that he worked with Issa. He tells Molly everything is like shutting down or whatever, and they're looking, and he was like, and he kind of is like, I'm glad I was able to help. And she was like, what? Able to help with what, girl? Like, what? And he was like, yeah, you know, with Vince. And she was like, yeah, because Vince Staples was there. Shout out to Vince Staples. Molly got mad. She was like, what? And she was like, wait a minute, because throughout the whole thing, Molly was impressed, right? She was impressed at what Issa was able to accomplish. And she was like, oh, okay, so all of these things that I thought maybe my friend is changing. No, Andrew spoke too soon. And she was like, excuse me. She walked over to Issa. That's how angry she was, that she could not wait until it was over, because now this is too good to be true, right? This has to be they were having a good time dancing, doing the wobble baby wobble. They were doing all that. They was having a good time. And even Issa was still giving Molly the side eye during the wobble. And then she was like, okay, well, let me just, bring my guard down. She brought it down too soon. Molly stormed over there to her. And I really was not, I really wasn't happy about that. Did I skip? I feel like I skipped a lot. Let me see. Nate showed up. I missed that. Nate showed up. Oh, Nate shows up and he gives Issa all of these wonderful compliments about what she did. He was like, you really did that. Remember when we went to Coachella and you were just thinking about this? This was just an idea, and look at you. Get out of your head, get out of your head. And I feel like my glasses are fogging up. Get out of your head. You did great, and be happy with it. And it was really him like showing support. Here's Nate once again being this supportive guy who really has these other issues, right? And that kind of, when a person is being supported by somebody, I think a lot of women, they don't, some, I don't know, a lot, some, more, most, a little bit, you know, there is a certain amount of women who, when a man helps them, they assume that he's going to make a good partner. And we could see that Nate doesn't know how to communicate. We saw, you know, the past season, and how all those red flags Issa might ignore because this guy is being really supportive to her when her other friends are not. Well, not when her main girl is not. You know, Kelli is supportive, Tiffany is supportive, but Molly is just, it's just really weird. And so he says, you really did it, and this is a really dope thing. You really did a great thing. And she was like, thank you. And, you know, Issa overthinks. She's always in her head. We got, you know, she's always in her head. So Issa was like, oh, this is before, honey, I skipped over that. So Issa was sitting there. She was listening to, I don't know, somebody was performing, Vince Staples or something. No, before Vince Staples gets there. Molly brings Issa some food. Issa's sitting up against the wall, and she brings her some food. And she's like, you know, I'm sure that you have an A. You know, this is really great. And so then the intern comes up and says, Vince is here. And so Issa has to cut. Here she is cutting this conversation short with Molly. Yeah, so they're doing the wobble. They're having a good time. They're dancing. And then Issa gets on stage, and she was like, thank you for supporting my vision. And then that's when everybody was asking for Vince Staples. That was kind of funny. So when Andrew mentions to Molly that he helped Issa, Molly immediately becomes angry. She becomes angry to the point where she is approaching Issa with this narrative that Issa stabbed her in the back. Did Issa stab Molly in the back for going behind her back? Did she go behind her back? She really didn't. She asked her, right? Now I can see if she never asked her. I asked you, you created a hurdle. I found another route to get to where I needed to go, and that was Nate. You created a hurdle for me, girl. I'm not going to stop right here. The old me probably would have gave up, but I'm not giving up. I'm going to get to my destination. You can create all the hurdles for me, but I have a different path, and I'm going to take that path. And you can't be mad at me for taking a path that you created a hurdle for me. I don't blame Issa. I don't think that Issa did anything wrong. I don't think that she stabbed Molly in the back. I thought that was a harsh choice of words. Like, girl, are you? And then she was like, you went over to my man. Girl, first of all, relax. Call him Andrew. You don't own him. That's one. Call him Andrew. I cannot stand that, but it's her saying that this is my person and you went behind my back to talk. I didn't go behind your back. I asked you. You said no. I told you. And then she was like, well, you told me not to involve you. It didn't involve you. Everything turned out great. What's the problem? And then she was like, you were going to let me fail. And that's the thing. That is the thing, bitch. You were about to sabotage me. And you were doing it intentionally with the idea that this is the time to create a boundary. Like, I thought it was fucked up that Molly did that to Issa. This is the time that you want to. Now, I've been saying all season that Issa has issues with boundaries. Molly creating that boundary wasn't a boundary. You were creating a hurdle for that girl. It wasn't a boundary. You took a moment where this person was really trying to do something and to prove something to themselves, but you wanted to sabotage her so that it can fall in line with how you see Issa. Because you have all of these things in your mind about Issa. She's a user. She's always asking for a favor. She's always doing this. And here she is asking for another favor. So what you're going to do at the most important time for her is not support her and want to see her fail. And Issa's like, I'm not about to fail. I'm going around you. And she didn't even go around her. That's the thing. She didn't go around her. She didn't stab her in the back. She went to her first. And that's it. And if I don't know, but they get in each other's faces. They started getting in each other's faces. And she was like, you're stabbing me in the back. And she was like, girl, you doing too much. Like, this is ridiculous. Why are you doing this now? You always starting shit. You focus on the wrong thing. What does she say? You make up problems. And she was like, and you always worrying about everybody else when you need to fix yourself. Like, they were really letting each other have it. Saying the things that they had built up and that they kept ignoring, and here it is exploding. And I thought it was the wrong place. We're not doing this public humiliation thing. We're not about to do this. I don't know, as a friend, if you can come back from that. Not even the point that they were almost about to fight each other, but that, bitch, you really tried to humiliate me at this event that I'm doing. That was so important to me. Like, Molly, just all the little grenades that Molly is like setting, the traps that she's setting for Issa. She wants Issa to fail so that it can confirm for her what she feels about Issa. You ever have that happen to you, where people set you up to fail so that it can support what they believe about you, right? That's what they do, and that's what Molly was doing. And that's why I don't think that Issa was wrong. I don't think she was wrong. What do y'all think? Do y'all think she was wrong? And she was like, you are so miserable. And then even Andrew was like, dude, let's not do this right here. She was like, see, if you and Andrew break up, it's not gonna be because of me. You're just miserable. She put her finger in her face. I was like, girl, y'all doing the most. And then all of a sudden, somebody hollers gun. Somebody had a gun. Everybody ends up running. And, they're running for their lives. Andrew said to Molly, I'm really sorry about this. I didn't know that this was going to mess things up between you and her. I really thought I was helping your friend. And that shows me that Molly is not talking to Andrew about her relationship with Issa. She's not being transparent in her relationship, because he would know that her and Issa are not getting along, right? And I knew Issa was gonna do that. Oh, girl, you creating a hurdle for me. I'm about to go ask Nate, whatever. And I would have done the same thing. Nate asked Issa, do you want me to stick around, offering support? And she was like, no, I'm good. And then they cut to the fluorescent good vibes only. And then all of a sudden it starts to rain. And to me, that's symbolic of wash all that negativity away, start new tomorrow, get it out of here. So that was the end of the episode. We're going to see what's going to happen next week. Like I said, Molly is becoming unlikable to me. She's unlikable this season. The character traits that she's displaying, trying to sabotage her friend. And the only ones who are being supportive right now are Nathan, is that his name? I keep calling him Nate because my friend is Nate. Nathan, right? He's being supportive to her. Lawrence, he didn't show up. I thought he would have showed up. I guess, he didn't want to show up because maybe he thought Condola was going to be there. But I don't know. I just wrote that into the damn script like that was even mentioned. Was it? I don't know. Anyways, y'all, take care of each other. Protect your energy. Let's get down in the comments. Let me know what you think. All right, peace.